What is up, YouTube? Welcome to this Legion episode review. So I really think that in this episode Legion has found its stride and is starting to make a bit more sense, even though at the end it didn't. So let's jump in. So David has returned from his astral plane adventure. He has met up with Mrs. Bird's husband and, well, he doesn't actually remember much. And much to her dismay, well, he doesn't really want to come back because, well, he's having too much fun creating and making his own place on the astral plane. And what's interesting is that David has come back with a purpose and is very, very headstrong and wants to rescue his sister. So it looks like he has sort of learn his stride, and as the show learns what the story is going to be, well, it looks like David has learnt that, well, he wants to use his powers, he is a mutant, he hasn't got mental problems, he is just really, really strong, and he's a really, really strong mutant. So this is the episode where he goes and does what he wants. He's sick of Somerville and he wants to go and save his sister because, well, he can, and he is super, super strong. But what I'm worried about is that, well, as we saw in the thermal cam images, that the shape of him when he was running around clicking his fingers, very, very funny, great acting by Dan Stevens there, is that, well, what happened is he has this aura around him, he has the devil around him. So could this be that, well, this is just an aura that's around him, or is the person that's returned from the astral plane, is that the devil with the yellow eyes? So, bit of an interesting mix there. I would say definitely it is, just because we saw him be so brazen, killing everyone and killing all the D3 agents, which I don't really think he would want to do. He wouldn't want to kill all these people. But he's saved his sister. Now it looks like that this devil is the one behind all the behavioural problems that David has felt all his life, and could be the one destabilising him, and it looks like he's just a leech on David's whole psyche and life, and he's leeching off the powers and trying to make him feel that, well, he's not a mutant, he's just crazy, and this thing can just evolve and feed off him for decades. Now, obviously, Legion in the TV, or the comics, sorry, is actually someone who has so many personas in the comic, but what is interesting here is that, well, it looks like we're following this storyline in the show where he or whoever is saying that, well, Lenny is Benny, is the dog that he created in his mind, is that weird little kind of cartoon character from the children's book, which is interesting because they actually did make that book, and there's a hard copy version of it out there. So it looks like they're doing this. He has all these different personas in his head. He has his core powers, but he also has these different personalities, which is interesting to see if he created them, or if the devil was the one creating all of them, or is the devil just another one of his personalities, but possibly one of the strongest. So that's pretty cool there as well. So at the end, again, twists this on his head, and we get so many answers. We learn that David is adopted, and, well, I'm kind of going to throw out there that Jermaine Clement's character, the guy in the ice cube, is possibly Professor X. I know it's a very, very long way, a very far-reaching thing, because I think at this point Professor X is James McAvoy's character in Days of Future Past. He's heading towards that story there. So it's interesting where that progresses. But what I think is happening here is that they were sent to Clockworks because they are slowly working out just what this devil with the yellow eyes is, and that persona sent them to Clockworks inside David's head to keep him safe and stop them from working out and stopping this persona or entity from being exorcised from David. So I think that's what's happening here, and they're going to have to break out of this thing, this weird thing where they've been sent. So, pretty good episode this week. Aubrey Plaza, fantastic as always. I loved her suit with the licorice tie, just absolutely bonkers. So that's it for this video. Please do drop a like. Please do subscribe. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.